Trippie Redd's been secretly hiding out in Turks and Caicos, getting his girl back. He's been keeping it low profile and off the grid ever since his last album, A Love Letter to You 5, flopped and only sold 38k units first week, which I don't blame him because the album got very bad and mixed reviews overall by hip-hop fans and Trippie's fans. His fans are also mad that he canceled his entire Take Me Away tour that's supposed to be going on this September. It just seems like right now that Trippie Redd's the most hated rapper in the game right now, despite how talented he really is and how much success he's had over the years in his career. So that begs a question, what can Trippie Redd do to make a comeback? The first thing that he's going to do is start a new era. As you can see here in this brand new picture of Trippie in the studio from the other day, he did dye his hair blonde again, so we are officially in a new era. And the last time he did dye his hair blonde like this was back in 2020 during the Pegasus era, which I know the public didn't really like Pegasus overall, but whether the songs were released or are still unreleased to this day, Trippie Redd made some of his best music in 2020, including songs like Obedo, Counting on You, and many more released and unreleased songs. And I think that Trippie Redd starting fresh, starting in a new era is a good decision by him, getting the past image out and a new image in. The next thing that Trippie Redd needs to do is make another album like Life's a Trip. And I know that Trippie Redd posted a few comments after Love Letter to You 5 release and that he's aware that he needs to make albums with all sorts of vibes, and he said that that's what he's going to be doing on his next project. That's exactly what a Life's a Trip was, and this is one of his most successful, highly rated projects to date. 2018's Life a Trip is literally a hip-hop classic and one of my favorite albums of all time. And you can see right here in the track list, it really did have a mix of everything. There were sad songs, there was, rapping and lyrical songs, there was trap anthems, there's features from artists you really never have heard of, and there's features from some of the biggest artists in the game. And overall, it was a good mix of all sorts of vibes. It was only 14 songs, and it is sequenced very well, and it is a great listen front to back. And if Trippie does end up making an album with all type of vibes, and it's going to be called Life's a Trip 2 or something like it, I think that will help him please everyone, because right now I think Trippie's problem with some of his recent projects was everyone split 50-50. He puts out a project like Mansion Music, right? And those fans who like Trippie on trap beats, rapping on glow beats, Detroit beats, and that type of stuff enjoy that side of Trippie and maybe like some songs from that project, but then the other half want him to go back to singing and making sad songs again and heartbreak and love songs and that type of stuff. And because Trippie's so versatile, it's hard for him to please everybody. So I think structuring his next project like Life's a Trip would be a very good idea for him. Also, another thing is that A Love Letter to You 5 mainly had smaller features on it, and I know like Leroy was on there and Wayne was on there, and while those features were good and cool to see him collaborate with them, those features aren't really bringing in more sales and attention to the project. Whereas if Trippie was able to get a Drake or a Travis Scott or someone high caliber that will actually boost his sales a ton, which I know you can't just call up anybody and get features just like that, I think that he could mix in both big and small features that have good performances, and I think that would also help the album. And the last point that I want to make that will help Trippie Redd's next album be successful would be a good rollout. The problem with the Love Letter to You 5's rollout is that fans thought they were going to be getting that album since he started working on it in 2021. Just for him to release a few singles that didn't do too well in 2022, cancel that rollout, and then just give us a completely different project inside of him with Mansion Music. By the time we got to summer of 2023 and he's putting out, A Love Letter to You 5 music again, and the album was completely different, a lot of those fans just kind of checked out and the rollout seemed very dragged on. And so having a rollout of just a couple singles, a couple music videos, a few snippets here and there, not really getting lied to about when we're getting the cover art or the track list and that type of stuff, as long as we constantly get updated and get news on this project, it's gonna be fine for Trippie Redd. This last project I believe would be the last one on his $30 million deal, so I think if he can give us a big hitter and has a good rollout, he can give us a successful project to get out of his deal and decide what he wants to do next. Thank you guys for watching all the way to the end of the video. We're on the road to 2K, so make sure you guys subscribe. I also have a Twitter, Instagram. Go check me out there, and I'll catch you guys with more videos soon. Peace.